How fear sells, the secret weapon in marketing campaigns. Imagine you're scrolling online and suddenly a headline catches your eye. Protect your family now, limited time offer. You feel a twinge of anxiety, a spark of urgency, and maybe even the creeping what if lingering in the back of your mind. It's not by accident. Marketers have mastered the art of tapping into your fears. From our need for security to the fear of losing out. In this video, we'll uncover how brands use fear as a secret weapon, creating urgency and amplifying our anxieties around health, finances, and safety, all to sell us peace of mind. You'll learn how these tactics blur the ethical lines, the subtle techniques behind them, and how to recognize and resist these fears-driven messages. Let's dive into how fear sells and what you can do to stay informed and empowered. Understanding fear in marketing. Fear is a primal emotion deeply embedded in human psychology, serving as a powerful motivator in marketing. At its core, fear triggers our survival instincts, pushing us to take action when we perceive a threat. Marketers harness this instinct by framing their products or services as solutions to our fears, whether it's about safety, health, or financial security. For example, think about the ads that warn of potential disasters. If we don't purchase insurance or security systems, they play on our instinctual desire to protect ourselves and our loved ones. This emotional response often overrides the rational thinking, prompting impulsive decisions that we might not consider otherwise. Fear in marketing doesn't just create anxiety, it cultivates a sense of urgency. When faced with the prospect of loss or danger, consumers feel compelled to act quickly, believing that immediate action is the only way to avoid negative outcomes. By understanding how fear influences behavior, marketers craft campaigns that resonate on an emotional level, effectively driving sales and engagement. As we explore further, you'll see how persuasive and effective fear can be in shaping consumer choices. How fear creates urgency. In the fast-paced world of marketing, urgency is a golden ticket and fear is a secret ingredient that amplifies it. When consumers are confronted with the possibility of loss or danger, their instinct is to act swiftly. Marketers exploit this natural response by crafting messages that create a ticking clock, making us believe we must act now or risk missing out on something essential. Consider those flashing limited time offers or only a few left in the stock alerts that flood our screens. These phrases ignite a sense of panic, compelling us to make decisions before we have a choice or chance to think them through. This urgency taps into our fear of missing out or FOMO, making us feel as though if we don't act immediately, we might regret it later. This psychological tactic transforms mundane purchases into urgent matters of survival, whether it's a must-have gadget or a crucial insurance policy. The more pressing the fear, the more likely we are to reach to our wallets without hesitation. By understanding how fear fuels urgency, we can recognize these tactics and take a step back to evaluate our choices before succumbing to the pressure. The loss aversion principle. At the heart of fear-driven marketing lies a psychological concept known as loss aversion. This principle, rooted in behavioral economics, suggests that the pain of losing something is psychologically more powerful than the pleasure of getting something of equal value. In simple terms, we are wired to fear losses more than we desire gains. Marketers capitalize on this instinct by framing their messages around what we stand to lose if we don't act. Picture a compelling advertisement for a health insurance plan that emphasizes the financial ruin that could occur from unexpected medical bills. By highlighting the potential loss, consumers are more likely to feel compelled to protect themselves, often leading to hasty decisions. Promotions that emphasize the scarcity, such as only a few spots left or don't miss out on this exclusive deal, taps directly into our loss aversion. We react not just to the fear of missing out, but to the more profound fear of losing something valuable, whether that's a great deal or a chance at security. Understanding this principle helps us see how marketers manipulate our fears to drive urgency and prompt purchases, making it crucial to remain vigilant in our buying decisions. FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO, or fear of missing out, has become a pervasive force in today's marketing landscape, exploiting our inherent desire to belong and be part of something larger. This psychological phenomenon captures our attention by playing on the anxiety that we might miss out on experiences, opportunities, or trends that others are enjoying. It's an emotional trigger that marketers wield with precision, creating campaigns designed to stir feelings of inadequacy and urgency. Imagine scrolling through social media and seeing friends post about a concert, a flash sale, or an exclusive event. These images of excitement can ignite a sense of urgency, pushing you to act quickly to avoid the feeling of being left out. Brands capitalize on this by crafting messages that emphasize limited availability or fleeting opportunities, such as "join the club before it's too late" or "this deal ends at midnight." FOMO creates a compelling narrative that positions their products or services as essential to fitting in or experiencing life to the fullest. As consumers, we often find ourselves swept in the frenzy, making purchases driven by the fear of being on the sidelines. Recognizing this tactic is vital in maintaining our awareness and making thoughtful choices rather than impulsive ones. Health and safety appeals. In the realm of marketing, few strategies are as compelling as health and safety appeals. These tactics exploit our primal instincts to protect ourselves and our loved ones, tapping into deep-seated fears about well-being. When brands frame their products as essential for safety, they ignite an emotional response that often overrides rational decision-making. Consider the barrage of advertisements promoting health insurance, home security systems, or even hand sanitizers. Each ad is designed to make you feel a sense of vulnerability. What if an emergency strikes, or what if a loved one falls ill? By emphasizing the potential dangers lurking just around the corner, marketers create a narrative that positions their offering as indispensable shields against the unknown. This strategy is particularly effective during times of crisis such as pandemics or natural disasters. When our anxieties are heightened, messages that highlight safety and health resonate powerfully, driving us to act in order to mitigate the perceived risks. By leveraging these fears, brands not only boost their sales but also forge a deep connection with consumers, making us feel that purchasing their product is synonymous with taking a proactive step towards safeguarding our futures. Financial security fears. In an age where economic stability feels increasingly precarious, financial security fears have become a potent marketing weapon. Brands cleverly tap into our anxieties surrounding money, savings, and future uncertainties, framing their products as crucial lifelines in a volatile landscape. This tactic exploits our instinctual drive to secure our financial futures and protect our families from potential hardships. Think about the barrage of advertisements for investment plans, retirement funds, or insurance policies. Each message often highlights the dire consequences of inaction. Failure to prepare could lead to financial ruin or an uncertain future. By painting vivid scenarios of what could happen without their products, marketers strike a chord deep within us, prompting swift responses fueled by anxiety. These fears can be amplified by statistics and expert testimonials that emphasizes the risks of not being financially prepared. Phrases like "don't leave your family's future to chance" resonate deeply, urging consumers to act before it's too late. By making financial security a pressing concern, brands effectively compel us to invest in their offerings, hoping to alleviate our fears. Recognizing these tactics is essential for consumers, enabling us to make informed decisions rather than reacting out of fear. Techniques that blur ethical lines. As marketers harness the power of fear, some tactics venture into ethically murky waters, manipulating emotions in ways that can be harmful. Techniques that blur ethical lines often prey on vulnerabilities, pushing consumers to make decisions driven by panic rather than informed choices. This exploitation raises important questions about the morality of such strategies. One common tactic is the use of exaggerated claims about risks. Advertisements may depict worst-case scenarios, instilling a sense of dread that makes consumers feel that they must act immediately. For instance, a security system ad might showcase a home invasion, heightening fears to a point where potential buyers feel compelled to purchase out of sheer terror rather than genuine need. Another technique involves emotional blackmail. Marketers may invoke guilt or shame, suggesting that failing to buy a product could lead to disastrous outcomes for loved ones. For example, health-related campaigns may emphasize the dangers of neglecting preventive care, portraying those who don't comply as irresponsible caretakers. These manipulative strategies blur the lines between persuasion and coercion, raising ethical dilemmas about how far marketing should go to drive sales. As consumers, it's crucial to remain vigilant, questioning whether a fear-based message is a genuine call to action or an emotional ploy designed to exploit our anxieties. How to recognize fear tactics. In a marketing landscape flooded with messages, recognizing fear tactics can empower you to make informed decisions. Here are the key indicators to spot these manipulative strategies. First, watch for urgent language. Phrases like "act now" or "limited time only" create unnecessary panic. If an ad feels overly urgent, take a moment to pause and assess its validity. Next, evaluate the emotional appeal. Ads that invoke strong feelings, fear, guilt, or anxiety are often designed to manipulate rather than inform. Ask yourself if the ad focuses on worst-case scenarios or presents a balanced view of the product. Be on the lookout for exaggeration. Alarming claims about risk or consequences should be verified through credible sources. A healthy dose of skepticism can protect you from sensationalism. Lastly, trust your instincts. If an ad feels aggressive or plays on your insecurities, question the motives behind it. By being aware of these fears and tactics, you can make more conscious, thoughtful purchasing decisions. As we have explored, fear is a potent tool in marketing that can shape our decisions in profound ways. From urgency and loss aversion to health and financial appeals, these tactics are designed to tap into our deepest anxieties. However, by recognizing these strategies and understanding their underlying motives, we can reclaim our power as consumers. It's essential to remember that while fear may drive action, informed choices lead to satisfaction. The next time you encounter an advertisement that stirs your emotions, pause and reflect. Ask yourself whether the urgency is genuine and if the claims are backed by credible information. By cultivating the awareness and critical thinking, you can navigate the marketplace and confidence, making choices that align with your values rather than your fears. So the next time you're tempted by a fear-driven pitch, take a breath, step back, and choose wisely. Empower yourself to be a conscious consumer in a world where knowledge is your best defense. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how to navigate the complexities of marketing and consumer behavior.